Hi everybody. Today the subject is how to find the right attorney for you. Caregivers with aging parents, those looking to help aging parents make estate plans, or sometimes take action against family members who are power of attorney agents, can spend hours looking for the right attorney and get nowhere. Finding the right attorney for you or your family or for your case can mean a couple of different things. In this video, I'll talk about working with estate planning, probate, and elder law attorneys to complete documents, and then the type of attorney that you need if you are disagreeing with what a family member is doing in a role of power of attorney or guardian, and you may be going to court. These two types of attorneys and their skills can be very different. Now, a disclaimer, I'm not an attorney. I am an expert in caregiving and aging. I am an expert in care management and guardianship and conservatorship, and I serve as an expert witness because I was a professional fiduciary. I served as court-appointed guardian, conservator, trustee, medical and financial power of attorney, personal representative of the estate, and I have and continue to work with a lot of attorneys all over the country. So, if you are a family member or an adult, I'm here to tell you, finding the right attorney means everything for you, especially if you're drafting legal documents for your trust, your will, you're putting a power of attorney agent in place for yourself, or if you ever have to go to court. So, stay with me all the way to the end of this video while I share a couple of stories about finding the right attorney for you or for your case, including sharing whether you need an attorney or what is called a litigator or a trial attorney. The word lawyer and attorney for this video are interchangeable. The word attorney and litigator and trial attorney are not the same things. Not all attorneys are litigators, and a lot of attorneys I know prefer not to be a litigator. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Pamela D Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, and speaker. I help adults and their caregivers work through health, financial, and legal aspects of caregiving, including navigating family relationships. Learn more about me and my professional experience below this video. You can scroll down. There are plenty of links to my website, my bio, link to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, free courses on my website, my podcast, my book, so much information. Please do like this video, press that like button, follow my channel right now, share these and the other videos here, and please do comment to share your situation or just to say thank you for the video. One thank you from you makes a big difference in helping caregivers and aging adults all over the world seeking this type of information find their way here to my channel so you help other people. So let's talk about finding the right attorney. If you're an adult or you're caring for aging parents, the type of attorney you may first get to know may be an estate planning, an elder law, or a probate attorney. These are the attorneys who, depending on their experience, specialize in drafting documents like wills, trusts, medical and financial power of attorney, living wills. Some of these attorneys also may work in the area of guardianship and conservatorship or probate, when families are mostly in agreement. Now, while you can certainly download a simple trust or a will or a power of attorney document off the internet, I caution when you do this because most of these documents are generic. They may not take into consideration the specific requirements of your state, and I will tell you, very rarely do they take into consideration the complications and crazy things that can happen in families if families don't get along, or if eventually there is a diagnosis of dementia. Situations change night and day. when you download these forms from the internet, or you get a paper form from somewhere, there's really nobody there to give you advice on what you might need to consider, the unexpected things that can happen, or just say, well, you might want to think of this because of A, B, and C. So in a sense, you're doing it on your own, which many people do. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's important to recognize the difference. Now, for people who have very simple life situations, maybe there's not a lot of money, families who get along perfectly, maybe the forms off the internet work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I can tell you that I've had many clients who have done those simple forms and later find out what they should have known because of the problems that are happening in their families today. Everybody has the choice to do it yourself or hire somebody. We all do that in our homes, right? You have something that goes wrong in your house for maintenance, and you're like, well, I'll just fix it. I don't need to hire a plumber or call an electrician or get anybody here. And then maybe you fix it and it's fine, or maybe you fix it and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have called a plumber, an electrician, or somebody else. So this example brings us to the question, answering the question of how to find the right attorney. The first place to go is people that you know, family, friends, colleagues, people at work. Has anybody that you know been in the same situation or wanting to do what you've done? For example, you need to create a power of attorney document, a living will, a will, or a trust. Did this person you know like the attorney they hired? Do they still have a relationship with that attorney? Would they hire that attorney again? Or did they hire the attorney and it just went okay and they're like, I don't know about that. Now, if you don't have any family or friends or anybody that you know who completed an estate plan or done whatever you're looking to do, then you might contact your local state bar association, see if they have a list of attorneys on their website. If you put in the word, estate planning or will or trust or power of attorney, do attorneys come up? You can also do an internet search, which is what many people do. When you do that, though, you have to be able to know exactly what you want and exactly what questions to ask of the attorney to know whether they are qualified to fit your need. How many times have they done X? How many clients have they had that have been in this situation? Do they have experience with ABC? Because I can tell you, hiring an inexperienced estate planning, elder law, or probate attorney can be just as bad as hiring your friend who's an attorney who does a different type of law and thinking that you've got something good that's going to work out. Hiring the wrong attorney can expose you or your aging parents to a lot of unexpected problems in the future. Some people hire an attorney for their estate plan and they never see this lawyer or law firm for years. If you have a complicated family situation, people who don't get along, brothers and sisters you don't trust, your parents who are still married, but they probably should have gotten divorced about 30 years ago, it's better to establish a relationship with an attorney that you can see working with for years, or at least working with that law firm for years. Now, just like everything else, attorneys change law firms. They may decide they don't want to practice law anymore. They may retire. So, check your attorney's website once a year. Make sure they're still in business. Note if that attorney is still there or if they've left. So here's an example of where having a relationship with an attorney can be very helpful. You or your parent is diagnosed with memory loss. The estate plan, meaning your trust or your will, living will, powers of attorney, you did those 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now, once you have this early diagnosis of memory loss, you should take another look at the estate plan. Maybe a lot of things have changed. Maybe it needs to be updated. And then you might think of strengthening your estate plan to prevent changes that you don't want. Because if you wait and your memory loss advances, or all of a sudden, you thought your parent was fine and oh my gosh, you find out their memory loss is so advanced, then it may be too late to go back and make those updates. So with an early memory loss diagnosis, make sure you're happy with what you have written down. Make somebody, a child, a friend, somebody at the law firm, a contact in case anybody tries to change your documents. Look at that document. Make sure you still trust the person you appointed as agent. And this includes your spouse. Do you still trust them to do what's in your best interest? If not, make a change. What I see happen a lot, especially in situations of memory loss. Family members disagree about care for an aging parent. Some children will say, oh, the memory loss isn't that bad, while the person caring for mom or dad is seeing how bad it is every day. Then what happens? One adult child, two of them, some family members who may be that caregiver or maybe not, they decide that they're going to change that parent's estate plan because they're interested in money or property or assets. Maybe the person who's the caregiver thinks, well, heck, I've been taking care of him for 5 years. I deserve everything. So the point here is if you or an aging parent is diagnosed with dementia or some significant illness or something changes in your life, meet again with the attorney who drafted your estate plan. Update it, add information, change anything that needs to be changed. And if for any reason you don't like the attorney or the law firm or they no longer exist, notarize a one-page statement saying, this is why I didn't go back to that law firm. The attorney left. I wanted to hire somebody else, so that it doesn't look like your children or somebody else influenced you to change attorneys. You can also, as I mentioned, you can specify multiple people who must be contacted if somebody tries to change your estate plan, like somebody at the law firm, a trust or a power of attorney protector who is crystal clear about what you want. Changes in estate plans and legal documents are a top reason that families end up in costly and knock down, drag out lengthy court hearings when people disagree about what mom or dad would have wanted, or did one child convince mom or dad to change their estate plan long after they had dementia, when they wouldn't have even known what they were signing in that person's favor. Now, in some cases, your estate planning, elder law, or probate attorney or law firm may have litigators, which means that they represent clients in these not so nice hearings where two sides disagree because everybody thinks that they're right. Contested cases for guardianship and conservatorship, or cases surrounding power of attorney, abuse, wills, or trusts, do require a special type of attorney called a litigator. Don't hire someone without litigation experience. It's not going to turn out well. Now, why don't attorneys want to be litigators? Well, it's a highly stressful job. There's a lot of conflict. They may be managing a lot of cases, a lot of timelines. So if you need a litigator, you want to spend some time, again, interviewing attorneys and law firms to make sure that you've got somebody who can accomplish what you want, or at least give you reasoning to say, well, I see what you want. That may be not reasonable in the court, but this is what you can get. There's reasonable sometimes, and there's what people want, which may not be possible in the legal system. Now, the other thing is, these contested cases. It's nice if attorneys get along, but sometimes there are attorneys who just are not easy to work with. They want to fight. They want to spend a lot of your time and money fighting, arguing, hoping that the other party gives up or gives in. And spending all that money may not be to your benefit. Some of these court processes can be lengthy, over a month, 6 months, a year, years, depending on how complicated it is. There can be a lot of time spent on gathering information, which is called discovery, interviewing people, which is called depositions, and sometimes attorneys hire expert witnesses like myself with very niche expertise to help clients win. this court litigation, the goal is to help people settle disputes that they really can't figure out how to settle on their own. And this can happen because a lot of reasons, but both sides can be so emotionally invested that they can't really look logically at the situation, or they just really disagree about the principles or the ethics or the facts or whatever. The good news is a lot of litigation can be settled before going to a trial or settled out of court. Now, all of this litigation, it can be very intimidating for family members to think about hiring an attorney and have to go to court because you feel taken advantage of. Some family members don't have the money to pay attorneys. And in these situations, unfortunately, the family member who has the money and the better attorney can win. It's much better if you can try to settle this before you have to hire an attorney. And there's more complications. So let's say it's a guardianship hearing or conservatorship hearing, or there's something going on funky with power of attorney where your sister or brother's spending money and they're selling your parents' property and they didn't have this agreement to do that, or your parent has to mention they changed a document, right? Depending on where you live, court systems can be pretty small places. Everybody knows everybody. You might get lucky. There may be attorneys who work together and they are interested in the benefit of the clients and they're not going to spend a lot of your money. On the other hand, there may be a good attorney who represents you and an attorney on the other side who wants to win at all costs, and they're going to do everything, and your family relationships are going to be destroyed. So for these and many other reasons, that is why the time and effort to find the right attorney makes a big difference. Then there's understanding all these legal terms. Make sure that you understand what your attorney is explaining to you, the options, the consequences, the steps, the time it's going to take. Ask your attorney to explain anything you don't understand. Get a second opinion from another attorney if you are unsure. Talk to an expert like myself who's been involved in similar court cases to gain a perspective of what it's like to be on the side of a family member. I realize that none of this is easy. It can be a nightmare. If you need help finding an attorney or information about like what type of attorney do I need, or if you have questions about processes or anything like that, before you go to an attorney, you can contact me. There's a form below for a one-to-one consultation. I can also tell you that I've known people working through litigation of the court system who changed attorneys. I've also known people who struggle to find an attorney to represent them due to all of the local relationships and conflict of interest in small town court systems. Even in large town county court systems, there are issues. Every situation is different. All you can do is the best you can do by being thorough, taking your time, understanding the situation, and finding the right attorney for your individual situation. And sometimes it's best to get that second opinion and make a change if you need to. I thank you all so much for being here. Please do right now push the button, like that video, push the other button, follow my channel, share these and the hundreds of other videos on my channel. And please do comment, share your situation, say thank you. One little thank you helps make a big difference for other people looking for similar information and to find their way here. Also visit my website, PamelaDWilson.com. There is so much information there, hope, help, and support. Thanks again for watching. I will see you all again soon in another video.